A Nordic Beast here, and welcome back to the Shipyard. So the reason I've been gone for almost 3 weeks now is for 2 of those weeks I had no internet. I apologize. Real life came into play and my internet was down that whole time. I got it back this past Monday, and I'm sorry I didn't post the rest of this week. I have actually spent lots of time with family, and family always comes first. But I've got plenty to show, so let's get to it. First starting is this lovely base you see here. Now, I got the concept from something else I saw in the workshop and wanted to build my own off a cliffside base, and I think mine is worse than the other one, but mine's much bigger and much prettier. It's just not as cool. Like, not prettier, more my style. So we have a room on either side, which are pressurized. Sorry. For no particular reason, really. But, I mean, you could keep them pressurized for off-world use. Don't necessarily need that balcony, which we'll get to in a minute. But you have your own oxygen and a cryopod. It's not done yet. I haven't finished the interior. But I want to go over all this first. So, of course, the med bay. And we'll go downstairs first. Oh, so first off, I learned this like little ramp trick here. That's right, you can't really see my cursor. For some reason, it never records properly. I blame DxTory. There we go. So you see the little stairs here, the sloped stairs. If you put a what are these called? Catwalk. If you put a catwalk here first, you can go up and down it without issue. Without the catwalk going down, this lip here causes you problems. So we come down here. We have 3 reactors. We have, what, 2? Yeah, 2 assemblers fully upgraded and a refinery fully upgraded. Which, by the way, I love this view. This is so awesome. This is like my favorite part of the whole base. Alright, so we'll go up. 2nd floor, which we'll go ahead and bam. Go ahead and add that. So as you can see, quite a beautiful view. Of course, I had to pick somewhere in the north. I love my snowy areas. Plus, we have lake adjacent and nice green area out there. It's so pretty. So I'll probably finish this at some point. And I ended up adding this part on, which is for something I want to do in the future. Now, as you guys may or may not know, I'm part of a gaming group called the NID, which was started by Boris Praversham. And for a while, I was helping with the NIDcast. It was a podcast for the NID. It's posted on the NID YouTube page. And originally, it was actually done by Lord Hatchet. And then Lord Hatchet decided he didn't want to do YouTube anymore. Which is perfectly fine, understandable. And then Drunk Spider-Man picked it up for a while. And now it's kind of on temporary hiatus again. Well, I enjoyed doing it, but I don't necessarily want to do the NIDcast for the NID. I would rather do like my own podcast, essentially. Which I do like podcasts, but I like a little something to look at. So I made kind of a meeting area. So I was thinking about doing my own podcast, obviously, with people from the NID, other people that I know as well, to talk about video games. If it's another YouTuber, they can talk about themselves and the things that they do. Personal hobbies, even just friends talking. So this will be a NIDcast for my own page, but it'll also include the NID, just like it did before. It'll talk about NID events that are coming up, but I would be doing all the editing, and so Boris wouldn't have to do it. Boris was the editor for all that. Pardon me. And it was fun. I really enjoyed it, and I really liked it. So expect half an hour long episodes. I'm not sure what to call it yet. I was thinking Nordcast, but that's too plagiarized from Nidcast. But I really like this. So, alright. This is actually a fire, and I will show you what I mean. Delete. Whenever you post it in, or whenever you load the page and it's already been there, it doesn't work properly. So you repaste it, I have a campfire. Mixed with the light. So, look at how pretty that is. At night, it is stunning. And fifth one came up with the idea of doing a glass floor. So you can actually see like down. It's really pretty. At first I was like, hey, who cares? But then I put it in, I'm like, okay, that's pretty damn cool, actually. I believe these are ground down windows, I want to say. Yeah, the ground down windows. I kind of liked the like railing feel of security here, like as opposed to windows. Which windows are great and everything, but these have a bit more substance to them. So yeah, expect like a nidcast sometime in the future. I'll set aside a day and start doing it. Alright, so the rest of this is just like a little village I came up with. Aaron from Last Stand Gamers, he did like a couple of different maps before that he did individual buildings. And I thought that was a great idea. So these are some of the individual buildings I designed. First off is I designed a new basic housing unit. This is basic housing unit 2. If you guys haven't seen the original... BSU. Okay. So this is my original design. Actually, this here is my redesign of it, so it can be used in low atmosphere settings. I'll just go ahead and pop it there. You like my sound effects? That wasn't edited. That was me. Originally, I had like these parts, like these window type things here, just so air could go in. But now I have altered it. I figured I should show you guys this while I'm at it. Sorry, I just got home from work and my voice is raw. So, sorry I keep clearing my throat. But a couple of things that I've put together from different aesthetics I've seen, especially from, was it Seth and Marcelo? They do like these shower-like things, and I really like these. I think that's cool. So I added the shower. Did I add an air vent in here? I did not. So basically you can just pop this open whenever you want. Basically I could have swore I put air vents directly in, but apparently I did not. Anyway, just keep these doors open. I probably made a version that did that I didn't keep. But there is an air vent in here, in the med bay. I remember now. Sorry. The thing is, you don't use up enough oxygen when you're in these rooms, so it's not really that big a deal. And the other basic housing unit does something. Well, I'll show you in a second. So yeah, I just altered the rooms. I added the shower type things and rearranged the bedrooms a bit, and now they have windows. God, look at these views. So nice. And then, yeah, I realized there was no air vent on the outside of this place to give oxygen to the cryopods. So there's one out there, and there's now one in here. And so technically this could be used on the alien world. Yep. Boop. There we go. So that's my new version of the basic housing unit. So go ahead and take that out of here. So this is basic housing unit 2. Basically, I wanted more of the same. I just wanted something bigger and a bit more versatile. Is there really a tree in here? Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? Alright. I don't remember there being a tree there before. So that's where I pasted it to work on it. Oh, here we go. Alright, let's, boop. So, the reason there's like a big ramp back here is actually, technically, this ramp only goes to here. But because where it was sitting over there, it needed more, so I added more. So let's go ahead and, there we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. So it has an air vent on either side, several batteries, as well as a nuclear reactor underneath. So you can just access it under this ramp. I actually really debated on adding the antenna. I didn't know if I wanted it or not. So I think actually in the base model I won't have it, but there is space for it. And then, as you see, it has several solar panels. So it can pretty much run off of solar panel or battery use almost indefinitely. So let's go ahead and pop in here. As you see, we got an air vent here, our living room. Amazing view. Look at that. I added this as just a TV. So through here is the med bay. It is not hooked up to oxygen, but you don't necessarily need it to be. Now, both rooms are mirrored. Do we have a tree in here? No, okay. So we have an LCD panel, well, the text panel. We have the shower, we have a bed, we have cryopod, and direct access to cargo. Now, I believe there's 4 cargo pods in this thing. I believe there's also an assembler. Added assembler, yes. And the other room is mirrored. So it is the same thing. And obviously all rooms are oxygenated. And we have an actual airlock there. So this place, which, do I have an oxygen generator or, let's see, oxygen? Nope. Okay, well, you could probably easily add an oxygen generator or tank, and, well, preferably a generator, I think would be the better idea, which you could probably just put right up here, so that you could produce your own oxygen. You wouldn't need the vent system in the back, and you could actually use this on, like, a moon or something like that. No actual oxygen in the atmosphere, but this could easily work on the alien world. So, yeah, I really like this housing unit. I think it's pretty cool. So, alright, I'll show you a couple of the other things here. We have just a 3-point cargo thing. In reality, you go up to 8. I just did this for view. You could go up to 8 cargo pods that you could individually put things in and be able to access all of them. Now, they can't pass, obviously, conveyor-wise without power, but you don't need power. You can just walk up to either one and use it. And you can just sit them wherever the hell you want. I'm actually surprised I haven't seen more space engineers doing exactly that. You know, you don't need a big elaborate cargo pod. If you could drop something like this off at a work site filled with cargo and work out of it. Sorry. Let's see. This one is a hydrogen unit. We got the uranium, or the nuclear reactor set it back here. It's just conveyed directly into the system. The 2 hydrogen tanks. We have an oxygen generator here and 2 connectors. That's it. And just the base to hold it on, which I think is actually really useful. Just having it work on its own without having to draw power from another base. Oh, sorry, my scythe is in here without a wheel. I accidentally deleted it going through Space Master. Just take that out of there. I feel that this is actually a better arrangement, separate buildings that are separately powered, as opposed to one big, massive grid. Because if the power goes down on that, you're kind of screwed. With this, it's each individual one, and a lot of these, most of these actually, are unpowered. Such as this, what I was just in. It's just a little shed, not much to it. It's a nice view, and it's just a storage area. That's it. You could replace some of the blocks with cargo containers if you wanted, or place one of these in there if you wanted. Just probably have to take off the top one. Beep. What am I doing? What? Sorry. I just accidentally alt-tabbed out. There we go. Spam. You pop one of those in here. I'm sure I could probably move it with a vehicle. Just for a little added security. Especially if you have, like, asteroids on. This would give a small measure of security to something in it. Or, I'm sorry, meteorites. To be able to keep things protected pretty much for one hit. But so I have another bay over here, like another little hangar that's unpowered. So this, I have another version of this that's not much different. It's also unpowered, but the idea is you can just pull in and park. You could build a couple of cargo containers along the sides for supplies, and that's pretty much it. Not much to it. Got a little landing pad here. Very, very simple. Again, unpowered. It's all light armor, so it'd be super cheap to build. Alright. Next up, we have my guard tower, also unpowered, and very, very cheap. Nothing particularly special about it. Just come up this walkway. We have one cargo container, a couple of seats, and quote-unquote a table. And the idea is you can just, it's supposed to have a very good point of view. So it's just an observation guard tower. You can put a couple of weapons and oxygen or hydrogen tanks in the cargo bay, and that's it. That's all you need. And then, of course, I have a couple of these walls, which the front of it is actually heavy armor. The ends are actually light. I just went with light armor. I went with the air vent window type things, and then the little half walls on top that are partially ground down. Kind of looks like barbed wire. not much to it. These would be extremely cheap and easy to build as well. I have another one that doesn't have the end caps on it, but I kind of like these better. So I just kind of placed them in, and, you know, just easy peasy, not much to it. It gives the effect I want. So next up, these guard towers, which the tower comes without a turret. You just place whatever turret you want on it. You have in here your reactor, and then for 2 containers above it, or 2 blocks above it are containers, and then you put whatever you want. I pushed these out so you could still access at least the top container if need be, for whatever reason. So, very, very simple. And this one's a Gatling, and up here is the rocket one. And that's it. Alright, real quick before I show off my vehicles and then go to space, I would like to show you some of the other buildings. I don't have all of them. It's primarily one. Oh, wrong button. UN, space, cargo cluster. I'm sad, I'll show you that later. Here we go, hangar. So you just place that in ground here. And the idea is it's just a very simple hangar. Now, look, it runs mostly on solar power because it does have lights and it does have the functioning doors here. No oxygen. I actually probably should put a vent in here. Or not even an air vent, just like one of these to replace a window, just so oxygen can get in. Come up this ramp. You got a nuclear reactor here that you can access from inside and from back here. Now, I know it's not secure that way, but the idea is your base should be secure, not your individual buildings. So, but yeah, got a little ramp here. Just kind of come up. And then you could redesign this any way you want to be able to fit any way you want. You can also just keep the door open and power it down, and you have a nice hangar. Let's see, UN space. So yeah, those are those 2 hangars. Hydro building. All right. So I had my little unpowered shack up there. This is the powered variant, which was pretty well inspired by that hangar there. So as you see, we got doors here. We got a panel to close it. This is actually supposed to have a ramp here for the same thing, so you can. Let's pop that in there so you can see. Boop, like that. So you can just walk up the ramp. Bam. Which kind of takes up a little bit of room in here. That's probably not the best. But that's why I kind of made the unpowered one, so you don't have to worry about all that. Like, it's not necessary, really. But if you want a more secure building, this works. So, that's the unpowered one. Alright, so those are the buildings I worked on. I plan in the future to do more of like an administrative building kind of thing, or like a factory, things like that, you know. But, I went too far. My bad. Look at that place hanging off the side. Looks like Tony Stark's house. Okay, so... Alright, you know what? First off, I'll go with this little one. This one's not done yet. I'm still having issues with it because it's so lightweight. It accelerates like a bat out of hell. And when it stops, because the wheels are kind of far back and it's a little top-heavy, it wants to tumble over. I'm thinking about calling this the Hippo. It kind of looks like a hippo. But I wanted just a simple, like, troop transport. Nothing military, just capable of carrying some people, that's all. And... Alright, let's accelerate. Stop. Kind of see it like I come up. And I wasn't even going very fast. But so far, it's getting better. It's just, I kind of have to tap the brakes for stopping. But it used to accelerate so fast it was having trouble. Now I've changed it so that the back wheels... Oh, no. Alright, I'm not doing this. Nope. Anyway, the back wheels no longer give power. It's only the front wheels.